Me. Oh, there we go. Jeez, old Pete, that's a lot. Not a better way to do that. All right. Hey, everybody. It's me. Thank me later. Welcome to UPX World Live. It is, oh my gosh, November 30th already. Tomorrow is December. Where has this year gone? Gonna set up. Apparently, I missed a secret in the game yesterday. There's another Easter egg that I missed. So I have to go back and take a look at that. One conflict, resolve conflicts. Oh, sorry, I got a bit of allergies. All right. Hey, Robzilla. Welcome. Pure Rolex. All right. We got the crew rolling in. Welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday. All right. All right. Well, while that's loading, Saint Lucifer 11. There we go. I was just about to start talking about our projects. So, as you might know, if you're new to watching us, UPX World is a Web3 platform that is designed to be a layer 2 inside the Web3 against all of the existing NFT metaverse projects. Those kind of comprise your level 1. And so as a platform, we are going to have our own offerings and little things that are a part of the overall experience. But we are bringing in community teams and other teams that are in the space to actually bring to life their existing layer 1 NFT project or work in collaboration to create something completely new, which is really cool. So on the platform, we actually already have several applications and utilities being built, and some functionality is live. If you want to walk around as an Xlander and check out some really, really cool art, you got to head over to 1111nft.gallery, and then you can actually walk around as an Xlander and look at all of the pieces in the array. So that is an experience we are working on with Dr. Nobi that is going to have kind of like an art competition feel to it, using community art on the Wax blockchain. Next, we have the Hyde Park Ninjas. They are very cool, Mike and Keith, and I always forget his name. Oh, every time. Why? Hold on. I can't not. I don't know if he watches or not, but I should know his name by now. And I keep forgetting it. Give me a second. I'm going to find it. And Christina is actually in the array. Beautiful Muay Thai elephant. If you haven't checked that out, please do. Let's see here. Who did I forget? Blake. That's his name. Blake. There we go. Keith, Mike, Blake, Christina, the Hyde Park Ninja team. And they are going to be creating a martial art experience. We have several custom martial arts avatars, specifically custom Xlanders that will be used for them. And they will be having several ninja mini games. We're going to be actually interviewing Keith from Hyde Park Ninjas this Thursday on the UPX podcast. So if you want to know more, if you want to get in depth on that project, be sure to tune in. And I think we're going to have some surprises, some good surprises here for you next week in relationship to that. Dr. Nobi is reminding me to remind you, get your submissions in for the next epoch, December 11th. So What he's referring to is the array, which is the first part of the 1111 NFT gallery. It is where you can display essentially your first piece of art. Think of it kind of like a cover to your portfolio, or just kind of your entry into the competition. Anybody can buy that for any, as long as it's in the array. It goes from the 11th of the 11th each month. At the end of the month, the top 11 will go to the pyramid, and then they'll stop being for sold. So anyway, all that's to say is go check it out, submit your pieces. There's a lot of information out there, and Dr. Nobi is always in Discord. So if you have questions about it, what you can submit, or questions with the forms, anything like that, feel free to reach out to him on Discord. He is Dr. Nobi. All right. Very cool. So next we have a whole like genre. So we're working on URX, which is the Ultimate Racing Experience, and that's going to have several different leagues and variations in it. One that is active, well, actually, there's technically two that are actively being developed. The one is from the wonderful team at Viva Las Upland, a Las Vegas-based team who has some really fun ideas of Vegas-themed racing. And we're bringing a miniature version of that in a way to have go-kart racing. And that will be based in their node in Las Vegas. So we will have a go-kart racing experience. There's some really cool elements that we're hoping to integrate into it. Should be a very fun experience. Also under URX, we are actively developing our next charity race. So in October, we had the Spooktacular, and it was fantastic. We raised over $5,000 for the Child Mind Institute. It was super cool. Hey, Uber Saunders. And so we are now ramping up for our winter extravaganza, which will go through the holidays this year, and will culminate the big kind of end piece for it in relationship to URX specifically is a semi-sled race around the neighborhood of Portage Park, Chicago. So that is going to be really fun to watch. There's a couple surprises. I don't want to spoil any. It's not even necessarily spoil, but we have some pretty insane ideas on what we would like to do. All right. Well, you know what? Let's be honest. You know, it's not like a million people are watching right now. So I'm going to put the caveat. It's a standard development caveat. Everything's subject to change. Like, this is just an idea. But I'm kind of curious what your reaction is. Delicious Pepsi, zero sugar. When you're diabetic, but still want to confuse your body on whether it needs insulin or not. Diet soda. Sorry, that was bad. Sorry, Pepsi, I love you. And so squirrel. Oh, the sled racing. Okay. So I don't know if you heard. So the backstory of this event, the sled, is that it's, just before Christmas, inside of this, peaceful neighborhood in Chicago, Portage Park. And there's just unprecedented amounts of snow, which is kind of like what actually happened in Buffalo, but unprecedented amounts of snow. And, everyone's worried, are the kids going to get any gifts this year? How, no one can get around. I guess they're going to have to cancel Christmas. But alas, there was a group of semi-drivers who heard about the predicament of Portage Park and strapped some skis and rockets onto their semis and decided to go save Christmas. So they will be racing around Portage Park in their decked out semi sleds, delivering joy for all. Now, that's the base setup. And then I was like, what would be really cool? What would be really cool is if there was, like a t-shirt gun, but it's a present gun. And you have just like a present bazooka mounted on the back of the semi that you can aim and shoot as you're going down. But it gets better. What if each one of those presents had like 10, 20 UPX in it? And as part of your entry to the race or whatever, that part of it goes towards ammo for your present gun, and you can shoot the houses that are along the route. And wait for it, where does the money go? To the layer 1 house owners. Like, can you imagine how valuable those properties would be? Like, wait, you're on the gift giving route? Like, yeah, it's insane. I'm on the Portage Park, winter extravaganza track, and it just rains UPX at my house every time people drive by and shoot UPX at my house. All I'm saying, I can't promise that, especially not for the initial, all the way down to distributing the UPX. But what do you think? Would that be fun? Would that be a way to incentivize people around the track to build houses too? Slab in the house. What up? Slab knows what's up. Yes. Good old cheers. Would they only go to props with houses? Yeah. Where's Santa going to go? You don't have a house. And then, so now you're strategic, because now you're like, well, I want to build an apartment. It's a much bigger target. You got a micro house. Maybe you're going for the wide area. So you go with one of the modern homes, because you're like, ooh, corner lots. Like, where are people likely? Like, you're going to want to race the track and then figure out well, which ones do probably people hit the most. There's some other little things that might make it more interesting and less random. But I can't reveal that yet, because that's actually pretty far down the line. But it would change it a little bit, but it'd be the same concept. All right. There are some other smaller experiences that are still also being worked on outside of that. And we will see those kind of come to life once the base platform is out. If you weren't here, let's see. Yeah, I'm sure that we could have a leaderboard or something there. Yep, that could be very cool. So if you weren't here yesterday, we showed a little bit of. See, now is it going to let me? Oh, okay, good. I think it's working today. Of the actual gameplay of UPX World. We walked around the rocky red planet that is UPX World, saw some of the crazy cool monuments that have been constructed for UPX World, and even found a couple Easter eggs. However, after the stream, my developer said, hey, did you purposely not get the other Easter egg? And I went, I didn't realize there was another Easter egg. And so we're going to see if we can't find it. All right, so I got that up. So now I can present, share screen, window, Red Rocky. All right, now can I move this? I want to move this. All right. let's do that. Yeah. All right. And then let's change this to this. All right. There we go. Dang. Land for Land, you're the man. I literally asked him yesterday. I was like, you know what would be really cool is if that globe, the big globe, rotated, just around. Like, that would be so cool. And look at that. Rotating globe. Oh, I could just watch that. That's so cool. All right. Now we have to see if we can't figure out what the other Easter egg is. I don't think there's anything there. That's just a random logo. All right. I think it was in line with like the ornaments, maybe. Or the other. So we found two statues. We found the test tube and the anvil. I don't know if he hit another statue in here. Apparently, we did not explore hard enough. See, so like there's that. So if you are just tuning in, this is the base planet for UPX World. This is more or less what we're going for. Is a red rocky planet, which you can see here. This is where we crash landed. Oh man, the textures on these rocks are cool. Well done. All right. Oh wait, you know what? Did I say Land for Land? Oh, I am so sorry, Moon Unit. I think it was actually Moon Unit. Moon Unit's been doing this. That is 100% on me. I am sorry, Moon Unit. Moon Unit has been working for a long time on this this planet and the textures and the rocks and stuff, and it is probably right next to the 1111 building. Nod, hint, hint. And this isn't the Easter egg, but it's super cool. That's the Hyde Park Ninja Village. Woo! All right, let's see here. It might be over here. Let's see. Can under those stones be hidden any forgotten world? Oh, maybe. I don't know. We're definitely in the mailbox. Oh, there was a mailbox. That's true. Oh, there it is. Oh, no, it was. Oh, I see it. There's a little. Yeah, there's the mailbox. Oh, I don't think I could get to it. Oh, he blocked it off. Oh, man. That is too funny. A little outback, eh? Outback outhouse. That's what it is. Outback outhouse. I like this, like just like subtle nod to like this is kind of a path. Like it's not super defined, but you can just kind of tell like it has extra gravel, and it's just such a subtle thing. But I really I like the texture of like just like the rocks kind of being the leading force here. So this is our zone in pad. Yeah. Before I go number 11, that feels wrong. Here's the test tube statue. All right, what was the other? What else? Honestly, like this is just what we're doing. I don't have a ton of other updates, although I do want to I don't know if anybody's following the FIFA stuff, but that's crazy. Inside Upland and I guess the actual games are pretty intense. But oh dang it, I actually just thought of something I wanted to discuss. Oh, thank you, Pure. Oh, So, has anybody played the new Disney game on the Switch? It's like a Disney version of Animal Crossing, right? I almost wanted to stream it. If I could figure out how to hook up my Nintendo, I might stream it because it does some things amazingly well. And there's some like features in it, like how they do these custom pieces. And so it's almost like I'm almost gonna have to like buy it for all of my developers. I'm gonna be like, guys, this is kind of the there's so many interfaces that I'm like, yeah, this is exactly how I would want that to function. Oh, I love this building. It's so like impeding in our 1111 building. I still want to, I feel like I want it bigger, but all right. Anyone grab any cars yesterday? Oh yeah, actually me and Dr. Nobi went in on a green one. I don't know. The cars are interesting in the sense, so in URX, and I haven't made a definitive decision on this, and this is one of those things that I think is really kind of going to be fun to watch how this works out. Is okay, so we're going to make this racing game, right? And so we're going to do an arcade version with URL, and so you'll be able to go and race, and you'll be able to use like the Series 1 Rs to race. Even if you don't have it, you don't need it, because when you pay it, then it pays the owners of those cars. But I was only planning on doing that for the Series 1R. And it made me realize, like, if I did all of the Series Rs, so the R, which is rare, which so far is the highest level rarity outside of like one of ones, which might be their plan. Like those might just be the ultra rare, is the one of ones. And hold on. And so if I only did the R's, it would be such a discrepancy between the R down to the E down to the base model, because it had passive income. And then just by enabling that, like maybe a different, like a cheaper tier, like you could really, it's going to be really insightful to watch how the actual utility, once people start getting utility in layer 2, whether it's through UPX World or through any platform, what that does to the value of the assets. And then subsequently, like it's kind of weird, and I don't know how I feel about it. So like, let's say that I knew, like, hey guys, we're going to release next week, we're going to release a race league for just the E models, right? And I'll make it even more specific. I'll say, what if I'm gonna open up an all yellow racing league? So just the yellow cars get shared revenue. And so no one else knew that but me and the dev team, and we all went and bought a bunch of yellow cars, like bought all the yellow cars, and then released the game. That is, I think it's going to be very interesting to watch how different teams do that and how they approach it, because I kind of look at it like stock trading. And so to me, like that's like having inside information. So if you profit off of that, to me, I really don't like that. And so I think like I'll have to, because it's not just for me either, right? It's my dev, it's the dev team. And so, it's a situation where it's like, well, technically it's nothing against the rules. It's not actually illegal. But it doesn't feel like right, you know? And so anyway, I was thinking about that, just how much impact, these games and things can be on a layer one. Um, so that's going to be critical to see. I know that there's been a lot of complaints. I see it on Facebook and Twitter about Upland and their constant release of assets. I'll be honest, like especially with like their FIFA release, like I bought up. I still have to transfer them because I had somebody else buy them. Like 100 tiles, and now like I thought the canvas things were kind of cool, but then you start like looking at it, it's like 40,000. It's like $40 for a banister, and each one has like 60. It starts to add up. And so I think without some sort of utility or something, the market is kind of right. Like, well, why is everything worth anything? So having the ability to generate that utility. You just got a Canada canvas an hour ago. Nice. Yeah. I've been looking. I mean, obviously the U.S. ones are going to sell very quickly. The Brazil ones are going to sell out immediately. The Canada ones, the Mexico ones will probably sell out. Like, but the other like smaller countries where certainly there's not really an Upland presence right now, or probably ever, but they do look cool. They do have a certain collectability. I'm starting to question my own. I went pretty heavy on the FIFA legits as well. And I just don't know what's going to happen after the World Cup with them. And so I'm like torn, especially after I saw week one, like before there was other, like even two more releases of it. I think Big A was sitting over 100,000. Like everybody was over 100,000 points. It was crazy to me. I mean, I thought I was doing pretty good at like 30 or 40,000 points. Like I wasn't even close to the top anything. It was, I was like, what? Um, so, and that was with all, like, I had some pretty good collections too. Spent 162 round two roll on compensation. Yeah. I flipped 350K into dang. Uber Saunders crushing it. Damn. See, oh wait, hold on. Yes, okay. Sorry, I missed Big Bets Mob. You guys have the same image on there. I spent 600 on round two. Got it. Best I've done in Upland. Yeah, that's a fantastic story. 350,000 worth of boxes. You get a 3X, very reasonable. Flip that into 6 cars. Honestly, cars to me are a really I don't, not financial advice, et cetera, do your own research. But like, I do think cars have the highest potential to hold and increase in value over time, because there is going to be definitive utility against it, not just because of what it is as a car, but because I know that Idan is very personally vested in the MB Motors and the racing in general. That's something he's very passionate about. So when you have, one of the founders who is kind of spearheading it, traditionally, especially in the tech world, that is a good indicator of what product or feature is likely going to have the most attention put on it. So I would expect to see a lot of big things coming with cars. If they're going to make it to travel, like once they start actually like locking down cities and changing walk speed to so you have to drive, which is going to be a while because they'll have to rework the entire treasure hunt system too, which is probably fine. It's time for a revamp anyway. But dang, 16 or 17 cars now. Get it. I understand Upland wants to be like a real world metaverse. I'm wondering if cars broke, will they be repair shops? Yeah. So they did actually mention that. Good question, Pure Rolex. Go away. Wanted to do that. There we go. Good question. So yes, there will. And in fact, there's a durability attribute on the cars that tell you how durable they are. So yes, there is going to be repair shops and damages. You're going to have mileage on your car, which is why all of my race cars are going to be put on a lot and left there. So yeah, that is definitely going to happen. I would expect to see body shops, which will be weird because you mint like a color and everything. So like, I don't know if you'll be able to like change the color of the car or like give it different rims or like exterior accents, because part of the trim package of the car that you buy is like those stylings. So I mean, I can tell a pretty good difference, especially between the base Series 1 and the Series 1R. And then Series 1E in the middle has, it's like about halfway. All right. Well, I think that is it. I'm not going to keep you guys today. Unless there's any other questions, any other topics anyone wants to discuss, I'm open to that. I'll sit here for a second. You know what? I wonder if there's. I mean, I could just sit here and just walk around for the next 30 minutes. But I'd rather have, decent content than just me rambling on. All right. Well, I'm going to stop this simulation. I want to go inside. I know as soon as that's available, I will for sure let you know. We will do that. Yeah, we need to figure that out fairly soon, eh? Holy cow. December 1st is already here. Only 11 more days until the first round. Yeah. All right. Well, that's all right. We can we can do the very similar thing to the array, I reckon. It'll be, or actually, we'd have to. We're going to have a live brainstorming session here on Twitch with a massive delay. Can you get to the first floor? I can't remember if we said that the array was under the pyramid or. Okay, cool. So we just need to modify the existing scene, put an elevator, and then go to the octagonal, whatever what's an 11-sided polygon called? I know you know that just off the top of your head. But yeah, that'll be good for the actual level 1 of the pyramid. Yeah, that's going to be really fun. Hendecagon. There we go. That's your little nugget of the day. If you're ever like, oh yes, I would like to make a hendecagon building or sign, or just look at an object and go, oh, is that a hendecagon? And they'll be like, what? I'll be like, does it have 11 sides? And then I'll be like, no, it's a triangle. There's 3 sides. What is wrong with you? So don't do that. Don't identify a triangle as a hendecagon. And I don't know that you're ever going to find one in the wild. So, all right. I got nothing. I got nothing today, folks. This is what we got. We got a lot happening behind the scenes. I do like, if you have questions, comments, thoughts, what you would like to see more of, what you would like to see less of, Please hit us up on Discord. We'd love to hear from the community. Oh, data. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry, Grom. Oh, thank you. The data mines. Yeah, the data mines are coming along great. Grom actually just did this really cool mapping. Oh, no, I can't. I don't want to show it because, yeah, I don't know what the final state will be of it, and so I don't. I don't want people to be like, "This isn't what you showed." But needless to say, it's a really cool like property sales map, so you can see like all of the colors of like for sale, owned, your own, not for sale, like really cool visual, almost like heat map of areas that are for sale, or like where there's just like splotches of like nothing for sale, like very interesting kind of stuff. And I don't know, we haven't talked about it, but just saying that, like, it almost makes me want to be able to like draw a line and be like, hey, like I do it on Zillow, and I'm like, if a house in this area comes up for sale, ping me immediately. And so that would be kind of cool. You just like draw and then be like, oh, if anybody puts up a house for sale, tell me, because I really need this for my treasure map or whatever. Oh, what if you could put in a buy order where you just like circle the map, or like, here, I need a house in this area. I don't care. Or like this neighborhood. Excuse me. I don't care what it is. I just want a property here, and I'm willing to pay X amount. Like, here it is. I will pay 50,000 UPX for any property in this neighborhood. Oh, certain price. Yeah, the up square. So that could be two. You could say, I'm willing to pay this, but it must be a minimum up square size. I like that. Yeah, that could be. And then it's just like, here's all the buy orders. And then so you can see, and then we could cross reference against your, so when you log in, you could see against your inventory of buildings and properties if it aligns to any of the buy orders. So then it's like, oh, I wasn't gonna sell this, but if somebody wants to pay 50,000 UPX for it, meh, okay. I think that might be against Upland terms of service. Why? What would be against terms of service on it? Would Upland have to implement that? No, because we could use the escrow services. So all you would do in that case is you would just think of it like it's the same concept as an auction, except you're bidding on just anything, right? So it's no different than an auction. You're saying, hey, I will pay 50,000 UPX for a property in this neighborhood that's at least 50 up square, whatever the parameters are, and then it's posted. And so what would happen is UPX World would take that, whatever you said you were going to pay, and put it into an escrow account. Then when other players log in, they can see the essentially like the bounty board of like, oh, cool, yeah, I have a property that meets that. And then the person who has the property goes, okay, UPX World, have my property. That goes into escrow. It confirms that says, okay, you gave me UPX, you gave me property, you get the property, you get the UPX, or the other way around. You get the property, you get the UPX. So that's the entire, like, that's the big technology for the escrow services, is it allows third parties to be able to create applications like that. And yeah, we have to be very careful about how it's used, and there's definitely limitations, but this is going to open up, like, from a utility perspective. Once some of these utilities come out, we're going to see a whole nother level of usability for Upland, which I think is going to be is beyond needed. And so, yeah, I would expect that UPX World will have a very serious offering inside of the Upland utility sector. Likely be an extension of the data mines, to then build out some escrow services, like that, like the reverse trade, or, again, all things that we can talk about. Oh, really? No. How do we? No. How do I? Can one of the mods take care of that? They can't do it. I don't have the. I'm not in the panel. Anyway, there you go. All right. Well, that was a good bump. Thank you for the reminder on the data mines. I always forget about them, and I shouldn't because they're going to be first probably on our new site. So very excited about that. All right. Well, I'll give it another second, see if there's any other questions or comments. I'm contacting you about your car's extended warranty. Yes. Although, like, now I kind of want to put that in, like, have just like a weird, like, there'll be like a weird, like, hologram thing, you know, like from Star Wars. It's like, you know, projection, and it'll be like hidden, and somebody will find it, and they'll be like, oh, and then calling about your extended warranty, and you're like, oh my god, really? And then it just goes straight into Rickroll, like, yeah, like, yeah. If you don't think that there's going to be trolley Easter eggs, yeah, come on now. Come on now. Yeah, definitely going to have some troll Easter eggs. Because it's fun. Like we want people to have fun. We want people to have that moment where they're walking around and they're like, really? Did that really just happen to me? Like, and it will be priceless. And then they'll go tell their buddies, be like, oh my gosh, yeah, you gotta and we'll give it like some cool achievement too. So like you're gonna want to do it because it'll give you an achievement, and then you'll be able to tell your friends, be like, oh well, yeah, hey, I know how to get this super secret achievement. There's a hidden thing. You got to go click it. I can tell you where it is. And then you go there, and then you get rickrolled. You're like, oh my gosh! But then you get the achievement. So you got to click it. Is a must to have an Upland account to be part of UPX World. So that is a so that's actually in 1111's question on premium currency. Those kind of go hand in hand. So we are and have been in talks with Upland about what that kind of partnership looks like between UPX World and Upland, specifically relating to the Upland accounts and how that's managed, and UPX and how that's managed. So you will have to have an Upland account to be part of UPX World to some degree, but the goal is that when you register for UPX World, like it will either like help you create an Upland account or auto create it, kind of like a visitor account. We don't know entirely what the best architecture for that's going to be, but the idea would be that it's going to be seamless. Or if not, you can start. Worst case scenario is you just start with an UPX World account, and then when you need to like do the personal metaphase or something that requires an Upland account, you'll be prompted to connect your Upland account to UPX World. And then if at that point you don't have an Upland account, there will be instructions on how to create an Upland account and walk you through that. So that would be kind of the worst case scenario. But ideally, it would be more integrated with that and more seamless for the users, that it would almost be part of the initial registration process, where it would, like, the onboarding would be like, create your UPX World handle, blah, blah, blah. And then like, are you an Uplander already? Yes, no. If you hit yes, you have to, do the authentication. And then if no, it would prompt you and like be all part of that. I don't know. There's definitely more discussions that need to happen on that, but it's a fantastic question. Thank you for that. And the premium currency, that is the UPX conversation, and that is still in talks as well. I would love for UPX to be the premium currency of UPX World. I think it makes a lot of sense. I love that synergy. I don't want to have to create and manage my own token. And so St. Louis, who doesn't have an Upland account, right? How dare you? Well, ideally, that's going to be the majority of our customer base. like starting day one, obviously we're going to be almost exclusively like that statement will make 100% sense. It's going to be all Uplanders. Like that's our community. That's who's going to start it out. The idea would be once the general public see the games, we start streaming live games, live events. We get other social media people to tweet, follow it. People will come to UPX World naturally and then be introduced to Upland. So the goal would be long term that primarily people are coming into UPX World and then finding Upland, and then anybody else who comes into Upland would obviously be pushed up to UPX World because we plan on having a pretty substantial presence inside of the game, inside of that layer 1. So. All right. Well, that was some lively conversation. Thank you for that all. All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to another exciting episode of UPX World Live. We will be back here Friday, 5 p.m. Central. Same. Oh my gosh, I messed up that whole outro. Jeez, Pete. Same Xlander time, same Xlander place right here at UPX World Live, 5 p.m. Central. And if you can't wait till Friday to hear more content, then catch me on UPX Podcast as co-host with Too Stupid to Win tomorrow, where we will be talking all things Upland and UPX World. And we have that interview with Keith from Hyde Park Ninjas. So it's going to be a good one. All right. Until next time, everybody, take care. Stay kind.